All right, guys, it is 12 o'clock. Let's get this party started. No, lie down. Go over here. Lie down. Lie down. Good girl. All right, we're gonna start off with our car routine. It's gonna take about 18 to 22 minutes. We're gonna start with our neck first. If you have knee issues, it's probably not gonna be that comfortable to sit on your knees for this long. So if you want to start on your knees and you can stand up, you can. Totally fine. You can actually do it from a seated position too. I'm going to go to a collapsed kneeling. So I'm going to sit my feet back on my butt. And then I'm going to go over our neck cars to start. I'll give you guys a profile shot. I'm going to put us on a timer. So don't worry about how many reps you do. Just go at your own pace. Each time you do one of the joint circles, think about trying to expand the circle of the joint, trying to find new ranges of motion. And at the same time, if you get any kind of pinching sensations or something that doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. So doing it, shoot me a comment or give me a text or a call later, and we can have a chat about it. We're gonna start hands at our sides. Tighten up the stomach. You can squeeze your butt in the kneeling position or the tall kneeling. I'm going to pull my chin down to my chest. I'm going to scrape that chin across that collarbone. I'm going to laterally flex ear to shoulder. And I'm going to tilt my chin up into extension to the sky. Bring it to the opposite shoulder. Drag it across that collarbone and continue on. Rotate all the way to the left. Laterally flex left. Chin goes up to sky. Trying to go 1 mile an hour. You're creating tension with the rest of your body. So the only joint we're moving right now is our cervical spine. And change direction. Try your best not to move your shoulders. Keep tension in the glutes and the stomach. We go arms cross chest and try to create tension, driving your hands into your body. So if I came by and I tried to pull your hand off, I wouldn't be able to because you're pressing in. We're going to flex our spine without moving the hips. So we're going to round that back. And I'm going to turn towards you guys. I'm going to rotate through the spine. So I'm looking at the camera. I'm going to side bend. Oh, shoulder comes to hip. And then I'm going to rotate into extension all the way to the opposite shoulder. And then rotate into flexion from that side bend. Try my best to keep my glutes on, abs on, rotate, side bend, and then extend. Trying to get each vertebrae to contribute to that extension, then also to the flexion. And change direction. You're going to rotate left, side bend left, and rotate into extension. And relax. So we're going to do our scaps, so shoulder blades. We're going to go hands, make fists in front. Try to make the hands so they don't go up and down, but they can go forward and back with protraction and retraction. I'm going to create tension through my arms, my stomach. I'm going to elevate those shoulders up to ears without extending my spine or my rib cage. I'm going to protract forward. I'm going to press. I'm going to retract back. So up, forward, down, back. Keep keeping stomach tight, abs tight, butt tight. Up, forward, down, back. Up, forward, down, back. We're just on timer. Each time you do your rep, try to make that circle a little bit bigger. And change direction. You're gonna go forward, up, back, down, forward, up. Those scapula are kind of gliding around the rib cage, wrapping around, up, back, down, forward, up, back, down. Whew. Okay, now we're gonna do our glenoid humeral joint. So our shoulder, I'll face you guys, and I'll give you a profile shot for the second when I switch arms. I'm gonna put arm inside. I'm gonna rotate so my palm's facing you. This arm's coming across my belly to create tension. I'm going to adduct, which is bring it across the body, and flex, which is bring it up over my head at the same time. So I'm gonna adduct and flex. Raising that arm over my head, keeping the elbow locked out. Slowly start turning my thumb back. When I get that bicep to ear, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna internally rotate, so pretend like I'm holding on to a beer. I'm gonna pour that beer out, try to rotate here and in my arm as far as I can. Reach back, rotate more, reach back, rotate more, and you're gonna keep rotating all the way till all your knuckles are touching the side of your leg. Okay, so I'm fully internally rotated. I'm gonna reach back into extension, so straight back. I'm gonna reach, then I'm gonna rotate my arm the opposite direction. So I'm gonna externally rotate all the way back to the start, trying to get as much rotation through this shoulder joint as I can. Well, if your shoulder car is smaller than mine, it's okay. I'll show you a small one for someone with really tight shoulders. They're gonna flex and adduct. They're gonna come probably to here and go, oh my God. And then they're gonna have to go out to the side like this, pour that beer out, reach back behind themselves without turning through the torso, finish with all knuckles touching the leg. You can see I'm still doing my shoulder car. It's not as big of a circle, but it's still a circle. Big isn't always good in this case. Okay, rotate all the way across. Okay, and we'll switch arms. We'll give you guys a profile shot. Okay, so I'm going to flex and adduct across the body. Slowly start turning that thumb back. Gonna internally rotate without turning through my torso, guys. So abs are tight, butt's tight. Trying to keep my body as tight as I can. Gonna reach straight back and up, and externally rotate. All the way back to the start. And flex and adduct. Raise. Turn that thumb back, internally rotate. Try to get as much rotation through the actual shoulder as you can as you do this, not just the arm. Finish with all knuckles touching the leg. Reach straight back and up and externally rotate to the start. Getting a lot of movement here. I'm gonna flex and adduct. We'll do one more, guys. Keep going. If you're ahead of me, it's okay. Internally rotate. Oh, reach back. Like you're reaching back into your back seat to grab something on the floor. Reach up and externally rotate. Rotating that arm as much as you can. You're wringing out a wet rag. Okay, those are our shoulders. Hey, Ma. Home tour, that's right. Good. What's up, Sully? Okay, guys, I can see comments on my iPad, so if you need to send me any questions, just shoot them, and I'll check it periodically. So we did our shoulders, we did our neck, we did our spine. Let's do our elbows now. I like hands out in front. And let's go fully supinated first, okay? So in this position, I want elbow pit staying pointed up the entire time. I don't want the bicep or the shoulder to move or rotate. The only thing that's gonna rotate is gonna be the forearm and the palm, all right? So as I move my hand, the shoulder is staying still the entire time. That's what you're gonna watch for to make sure you're doing it right. So both arms up, under tension. So I'm gonna tighten up my belly, tighten up my butt, and I'm gonna pretend like the air around me just got really, really dense. So I'm gonna start flexing my arms, so bringing my hands towards my face under tension. I'm doing a really hard bicep curl. I'm gonna come as far as I can. I'm gonna hold. Now I'm gonna pronate, so I'm gonna turn my palms towards you guys. So turn your palms away from your face, and now slowly extend out. Elbow pits are still facing up. Then I'm gonna supinate, so turn the palms up, and then flex all the way back in. And pronate, turn the palms away, extend out. Then keep your hands, palms down. You're gonna flex back. Bring your fist towards face. Supinate, turn palms towards face. Extend back out. Pronate, hands, palms down. Bring hands back to face. Then hold. Then supinate as much as you can. Then fight for a little bit more. Oh. Then pronate as far as you can. So turn palms away from face. Find your end range. Fight for a little more. Then supinate one more time. Find your end range. Fight for a little more. Pronate. Find your end range. Then fight for a little more. Then come halfway out. Then supinate. Find your end range. Fight for a little more. Pronate. Turn the palms away. Find your end range. Fight for a little more. Then supinate. Find your end range. Then fight for a little more. Then come out all the way. Pronate. Find your end range. Fight for a little more without moving the biceps. Supinate. Find your end range. Fight for a little more. Pronate. Turn the palms down. Fight for a little more. Supinate. Find your end range. Fight for a little more. And relax. Oh, shake your arms out, guys. Shake your arms out. Go and put hands by our side to give our arms a little bit of a break. So kind of like you're holding a tray. I like to make fist. It feels a little bit different. We're going to do our wrist. So we're going to think pinkies are going to come in together. So we're going to work on adduction of the wrist. So the only bone that's moving is the wrist. The forearm is not moving now. Okay, so pinkies in, then extend down. So put your knuckles towards the floor, and go pinkies out, then flex all the way up. Then pinkies in, then down, then out, then up. In, down, out, up, and hold, then go out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Okay, upper body's done. We're gonna move on to the hip, and we're gonna do this from a sideline position. If you guys want to use a pillow, you can for your head to make it more comfortable. I'll make sure you guys can see me. All right, so from this position, I'm gonna stack my hips on top of one another and my shoulders. I'm gonna find some kind of technique for upper body tension. So I think about this bottom hand gripping my body and pushing into it, and this top hand pushing into the ground. So now my upper body is kind of engaged because I don't want to be turning or twisting as I'm doing my hip car. Okay, so I'm also gonna push my bottom foot into the floor. So this bottom foot is heavy. The top foot's gonna raise up a little bit. I'm gonna slowly bring my knee up towards my chest as far as I can without moving my back. Okay, now from this position, I'm gonna pretend like there's a tennis ball right behind my knee. I'm gonna smash that tennis ball, keep my hamstring active. I'm gonna abduct that leg, so I'm gonna open up that leg. The whole leg's gonna open like a door. Okay, when I can't open it up anymore without leaning backwards, I'm gonna pause. Now I'm gonna internally rotate, so this ankle is gonna turn out towards the sky, and I'm gonna kick back into extension. So ankle goes up, so I'm internally rotating, and then I extend back, keeping that tennis ball smashed. Close the leg. From this position, I'm gonna open the leg like I'm a dog going to the bathroom. Hold, I get to my end range. Now I'm gonna bring this inside of my ankle back up towards my face. Okay, so I'm gonna externally rotate, nice and slow. And then bring that knee all the way back up into flexion. And then finish with my knees in line with one another. Let's do one more really good rep. Okay, so I'm gonna go up into flexion. Boom. Find my end range. Open up into hip abduction. That's my end range there. We're gonna internally rotate. So turn the outside ankle up to the sky. And then kick back at the same time. Keeping that hamstring active, close the legs. Good. Open up. Then externally rotate all the way back to the start. Finish with knees in line with one another. Woo. What's up, Megan? What's up, Meg? We'll switch sides. Okay, remember, bottom legs pushing in, finding some kind of tension with the upper body, right? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna drive my bottom foot into the floor, pick the top foot up, bring it up into hip flexion so the knee comes towards chest. I'm gonna abduct as much as I can without turning my pelvis, so as far as I can go. Smashing that tennis ball, internally rotate, slowly kick back at the same time. If you feel like you have it, you can go at your own pace and don't try not to stop. Moving 1 mile an hour, trying to make this hip car bigger and bigger each rep we do, not forcing anything. So abs should be tight right now. Lower back is not extending or flexing, it's staying straight. So I'm gonna flex. I'm gonna open up to the sky. I'm gonna twist that thigh, and then I'm gonna kick back at the same time. Oh. Close the legs, open up, slowly rotate all the way back to the start. Boom. Oh. Okay. Okay, so now we did our hips, we're gonna do our knees. Okay, so we're gonna go right hand is gonna wrap around right knee. I'm gonna pull that leg off the floor. That right hand's gonna go on my left bicep. Left hand goes behind right knee. Now what we're working on here, I like to have my foot dorsiflex. So I'm gonna pull my toe up towards my face. And then when I wanna move, I want this tibia bone to move and rotate. It doesn't just flex and extend. This just joint also rotates. Okay, so I'm going to take that big toe. I'm gonna internally rotate it as far as I can. Try to get the whole tibia to move. I'm going to slowly extend, but don't lock out your leg if you have the mobility. Turn the foot out, pull the foot back down. So turn the foot in, extend the leg. We're just trying not to let the thigh move as we do this. Turn the foot out, pull the foot back down, keep that foot turned out. We're going to slowly extend the leg, turn the foot in, pull that foot back down, turn it out. Extend up, turn in, pull down. Boom. Switch sides. Grab on the right knee, right behind the left knee. Pull that thigh towards your chest. The left hand on right bicep. Right hand goes behind left knee. Bring the toe up towards the face so your ankle is dorsiflex. You can kind of feel that calf and the shin turned on. If you can't grab your bicep, that's a great question, dude. So if you can't grab your bicep, guys, Mike has nice, large, beautiful thighs. He's going to grab onto his thigh like this, pull the thigh towards the chest. I just don't want the thigh moving. This is just a fancy grip. You can also just hold it in place. I just don't want the femur rotating as we're trying to rotate the tibia. So hold it nice and tight like this. I'll do it how Mike's going to do it. He's going to turn his toe out, slowly extend up. Turn the foot in, and it's cool because if you hold it like this, you can feel this inside hamstring fire up as you internally rotate. Pull that foot down, turn that foot out. The only thing we want moving is this shin bone. Okay, go up, out, down. Keep it turned in. We're gonna go up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in. Boom. Those are our knees, guys. Now for the ankle, great way to take a break working from home. You're welcome. So for the ankle, we're going to lie on our back, straighten out the leg, wrap your hand around the knee. We're going to draw the biggest circle we can with our big toe. So my big toe is going to draw the biggest circle I can, only moving my ankle. So if you watch your leg, the thigh and the shin should not move anymore. The only joint moving is going to be our ankle joint. So 3 circles each direction, guys, on your own. Nice and slow. You should be able to see your leg now. The only thing moving is the ankle. Once you get 3 one direction, switch on your own, please. Oh. You might find that your ankles are a lot tighter than you had ever imagined. They're really hard to move individually. The reason why we do our car routine is to help create joint independence, not joint dependence. Okay? Get to know a little more about yourself. Switch legs when you're done. Oh. As much as I hate doing this whole routine, it's really nice being led through it. So if you guys need the motivation, I'll leave this post up. You just kind of watch the video of me going through the cars. Let me guide you through your own daily routine. Oh, there you go. Now, last one. We're going to take our feet. You're going to sit on your butt like I am. You're going to slide your feet forward into plantar flexion as far as you can, keeping the balls of your feet and your heels and your toes on the ground. I can't go too far. We're going to do our toe cars. We're going to go big toe only is going to come up. So all the other toes are going to push down. Big toe is going to come up. Okay. Now big toe back down. Now big toe comes up only by itself. Big toe back down. Make sure your foot's not opening up and losing its position. So all bottom of the foot remains in contact with the floor. Big toe back up. Big toe down. Let's go. Big toe down, little toes up. Oh, that one's hard. Back down. Little toes back up. Back down. All toes up, but keep the balls of your feet on the floor. Let's go big toe down only. Big toe back up. Big toe down only. Big toe back up. Little toes down only. Little toes back up. Now I want you to think about spreading out your toes just spread them out. Spread your toes out as much as you can. And then put the pinky toe down first, and then let all the other toes follow, like you're playing the piano. Blink, and all toes up. Pinky toe goes down first, and then all the other toes are going to follow. Boom. Last rep, all toes up. Pinky toe goes down first, then all the toes follow. Boom. And rest. That's our car routine, guys. I think it took us like 22 minutes. As we get better, it's probably get down to where we're 18, 19 minutes. All right. As promised, if you have trouble 90-90, sometimes like I used to not be able to sit like this. When I'm going into a rotation, I'm also at my end range for hip abduction, so it was really painful here. Okay, even just sitting like this, I was like, oh man, cramping up immediately. If that is you, you can do the internal rotation where we're on our back. You can take that right leg, you can walk it out to the side like I am. And then you're going to keep that foot, whatever position you want. So now I'm in an internally rotated hip position. This leg is going to go on top and just apply a little bit of pressure. Okay, so I'm just going to relax my top leg, and the weight of my top leg is going to kind of create more of a stretch for internal rotation. Okay, this is another way. If the 90-90 doesn't work for you, then this is what you can do. Is that cool? Right, so I'm trying to keep both butt cheeks on the floor. As I'm doing this, getting a nice stretch on the outside of that hip, okay? So I'm going to do 90-90 because I just come to like it because I do it all the time. But if you're one of those people who, man, Ed, that is so uncomfortable for me, you can do the internal rotation from a supine position. That cool? Welcome, Mike. All right, so we're going to go into internal rotation for the back leg. So my right leg is behind me, so you want to kind of get in track with me. I'm going to turn and rotate into that leg. I made sure that my hip is in line with this front knee. This hip is in line with this knee. This knee is in line with this foot. So I got two nice 90-degree angles with my legs here, right? I'm just going to rotate towards the camera. That's going to create the stretch or the internal rotation of the hip. Then I'm going to try to get this butt cheek flat in the floor, all right? Just get a nice, good, easy stretch going through this leg, okay? The hardest thing for this stretch that used to be for me was the shoulders. I got this on a timer right now. The shoulders just like killed. But I do my cars every day, and now I can sit in this position for like 5 minutes without my shoulders going to sleep. Cool. So we're just kind of chilling, finding our stretch, and as we're doing this, if you feel like you can rotate into that stretch more or turn more into that stretch, by all means, please do it. This should be kind of relaxing, Okay, this is a passive stretch. So we're just kind of prepping the tissues for the pails and rails contractions we're going to be doing. So the isometric loading and the 2-minute timer just allows us to prep the tissues for change. It facilitates new tissue growth and development. 2 minutes is like kind of what the science says is the minimum time requirement for change to happen. Also, it allows us to bypass the stretch reflex muscle of the brain to where we can go into new end ranges without the brain stopping us. That's the cool thing. That's also why we do this 2 minutes. So when we do the pails and rails, we have a minute left to hold. Remember, I'm going to try to drive this inside of my ankle into the floor to leave a dent. Okay, so if there's a scale underneath this ankle, that scale is going to go to like 10, 15 pounds of pressure. I'm trying to rotate that ankle into the floor. I'm pushing my knee and my shin, but the ankle is pushing the hardest. That's going to create this motion, right? So imagine that my foot's on the floor. This is the motion I'm trying to create, that kind of rotation. So I'm going to feel a lot of the inside of the hip stuff turning on when that happens, right? That's going to be the progressive tissue. And then when we do the rails contraction, this ankle is going to try to lift up. For most people, if you're at your end range, the ankle is probably going to stay like on the ground. But remember the scale analogy. If my foot's on a scale, when I was pushing down, it said 10 pounds or 15. When I start trying to lift this foot up, it's not going to leave the ground, but the scale is going to get lighter. So by the time I get to you all the way up, the scale should read 0.01 weight, because that foot is so light on the scale, and I'm trying to pick it up, but I can't. The movement isn't going to happen down here. The movement's going to happen inside your hip, guys. This is going to help find new end ranges of motion in your hip for hip internal rotation. And the reason why I'm doing this so much and so frequent with you guys is because most people that I assess lack internal hip rotation. They have almost 0 to none. Almost have negative, most people. It's crazy. So that concludes our 2-minute stretch. We're going to start our pails and rails contractions. Okay, 20% effort. I want you guys to drive this ankle into the floor. Remember, your both hands are on the floor right now. I'm just going to be using my hands to point. So I'm 20% pressure, driving that ankle into the floor. Okay? Build up to 40% tension. And I'm matching that with the rest of my body. So this leg's pushing down, my abs are tight, my back is tight, my arms are pushing into the floor to create more irradiation. I go up to 60%. I go up to 80%. If you try to come pick this foot up, it's not going anywhere. Okay, now 100%, drive that foot into the floor and go. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now reverse it. You're going to feel weak here. Go up as high as you can. Try to make that foot light on the ground. Push that knee into the ground. Try to pick that ankle up. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then settle into the stretch, guys, and relax. Shit. All right, we're back. Sweet. Someone just called me. There we go. So, we're doing a little recovery right now. We're going to do our second set. Whew. All right, so if you can turn deeper into internal rotation, please do so. We're going to start our second set. So remember, ankle, shin, and knee are pushing down, but the ankle is pushing the hardest to create this rotating motion. Okay, here we go. 20% push the ankle down. Imagine if I was trying to pick your foot up, right? You're not going to let me. 20%, 40% push down, 60%, 80%. And if 80 feels good, guys, go up to 100 and hold again for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now reverse it. Flip it back and reverse it. Try to get that ankle up. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then relax and settle into that stretch. Woo. Ooh, let's do a nice little quasi-isometric change. What is that? I can't remember the name. But bear with me. Okay, so hands out in front, put the ball of the foot in the back of the ground. I'm going to open up that back knee as much as I can, pressing this front shin into the floor. I'm going to find my end range for this swivel. Okay, I'm on the ball of my foot. This leg's pushing down, right? I can't let this come up. This leg's pushing back to its end range. I want you to fight for a little bit more range. Fight for a little more. You're going to feel this adductor turning on. Now I want you to let the back leg start winning. Okay, so the front leg's still pushing down. The back leg's going to start winning, and the back leg's going to pull the front leg off the floor. Boom. Okay, nice and slow. This leg pushing that way. This leg's pushing that way. It's nice, slow. I'm going to make this rotation. This leg's going to start winning. It's pulling the back leg with me. I'm going to finish in 90-90, setting up perfect, facing the opposite direction. Sweetness. Cool. Okay. Now, turn into that back leg. We're going to put it under a stretch right now. My left side is just so much tighter than my right. I'm going to hit our timer. We're going to do our 2-minute hold. Try to get that left butt cheek to the floor if you're on your left side. If you're on the right side, try to get the right side. Keep the knee down. This is a great after this morning workout. Hey, Sonia, what is up? You're here. Sweet. Okay. Anyone else finding that their left side's a lot worse than their right? Mine's bad. I can't. My butt is completely off the ground. I can't even get it down. Ooh. Yo, Sonia. I can see your comments, guys. I set up my iPad right here. That's why I keep looking over to the left. I got about 45 seconds, and then we'll start our pails and rails. Yeah, much tighter, right? Yeah, my left side's so freaking tight. Oh, man. Yeah, I know you are, Katie. I know that side's bad. Let's go 28 more seconds, guys, then we'll start. Remember, if you're at your end range, your true end range, that foot will not leave the ground, okay? So don't get so caught up. When I want you to kind of just thinking about picturing that foot leaving so that rotation happens in the hip, okay? Here we go. Okay, we're going to start our pails and rails. So 20%, you're going to push that rear foot, the inside of the ankle, into the floor to kind of create a dent. 20% effort, okay? You don't want to feel it in the knee. That's why you just need to move around a little bit, Shannon. Like usually if I'm feeling the knee in this position, I'm gonna change my position, move my foot around. I don't want to feel that knee torquing. You can also try it in the supine position. Sometimes 90-90, like when I injured my knee in jiu-jitsu, I couldn't do 90-90 for about 2-3 months. I had to do my hip internal rotation from a standing position. So I put my foot up on a box. So if you need to get out of this position because it's torquing your knee, get out of this position or don't push so hard. Okay, you can just hold a passive stretch with us. All right, guys. So we're going to start our pails and rails. 20% push that ankle into the floor. 40% push your ankle into the floor. 60. 80, and the whole body's at 80 right now. And if 80 feels okay, nothing's hurting, guys. 100%, hit it. There you go, Shannon. Yeah, if you guys are in pain, move around. Don't keep pushing through the pain. We're at 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse it. Try to pick that ankle up off the floor. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax into that stretch. We're gonna take a short break on this one, guys. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if your wrists are falling asleep, or your shoulders, just kind of go up your knuckles, move and adjust your shoulders as needed. Do some scap cars. Okay, let's crank out that second set. Remember, inside ankles, driving heavy into the floor, 20%. I'm gonna match that tension with the rest of my body, 40%, 60%, 80%. That foot just got so heavy, okay? 100%, drive that ankle into the floor and hold it. Keep that tension consistent. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And reverse it, guys. Try to pick that ankle up off the floor as best you can. Remember, it's okay if that ankle doesn't move. It's because you're at your end range and you're super weak out here. Drive it up, drive it up, drive it up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax into the stretch. 3 breaths, guys. Try to rotate into that back leg even more. Trying to get that butt closer to the floor. It should have loosened up a little bit by now. Mine feels a hell of a lot better. Once you get your 3 breaths, straddle the front foot with your arms. We're going to do our swivel with our quasi-isometric transition. So ball of the back foot goes into the floor. Hey, what's up, Anne-Marie? You're going to pick this leg up off the ground as far as you can without rotating through your torso. So I'm going to open up towards the sky, find my end range. Okay, remember this front leg is driving into the floor. Okay, I'm going to fight for a little more range here. I'm going to open up more. I'm going to open up more. And I'm going to try to open up a little bit more. Hold it. I can feel that outside glute firing. Now I'm going to let the back leg start winning. This front leg's still pushing down. Check it out. Okay? That back leg starts pulling the front leg off the floor. Nice and slow. Legs are going in opposite directions. You're going to finish 90-90 facing the other way. Whew. Okay. Now we're going to do, we did passive range holds last week. We're going to do some passive range liftoffs. So we're going to work on the concentric portion of the movement. We're going to I need this foot coming off the floor. And I'm going to let you decide how much of a running start you'd like. So if I go closer to my end range of motion, that foot doesn't leave the floor. If I turn away from my leg, so if I go this direction, now watch how high I can pick this leg up. Boom. So I can internally rotate because I'm not anywhere near my end range of motion. And I want the rotation happening here. I don't want the pelvis coming forward and moving. So what I like to do is I take this free hand, I stuff it underneath that thigh to block my hip on pelvis from going forward. So now from here, I'm just going to choose my difficulty setting. I want to be able to pick that leg up. So I'm going to go here, okay? And when I move that foot, the rest of my body's state is still. So I'm creating irradiation with the rest of my body, so it's not contributing to that movement. I'm going to pick it up, slowly put it down. Pick it up, slowly put it down. Down. All right, you guys ready? Everyone got that? Let me see. For real. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Here we go. We're going to do 15 reps. And lift off. 1, lift off. When I say the number, slowly put it down. 2, lift off. 3, lift off. 4, lift off. 5, lift off. 6, I want this thigh rotating. Lift off. 7, lift off. 8, lift off. 9, lift off. 10, lift off. 11, lift off. 12, lift off. 13, lift off. 14, last rep, lift off. 15. Good, we can just switch sides. You don't have to do that other way we did it. Okay, get set up. Find your difficulty setting. Remember, the more you turn into your back leg, the harder it's going to be. The more you turn away from your back leg, the easier it's going to be. So I'm going to get set up. Whoa. Make sure that hip bone isn't moving. So I'm going to turn back a little more. Oh. All right, so I found my spot. Give you guys a second. Block that leg. Here we go. Ready, and lift off. 1, lift off. 2, lift off. 3, lift off. 4, you should be able to get a couple inches off the floor. Lift off. 5, lift off. 6, lift off. 7, lift off. 8, lift off. 9, lift off. 10, lift off. 11, lift off. 12, lift off. 13, lift off. 14, lift off. 15. Now switch sides. Block that pelvis with your elbow. Gonna get set up. We're gonna go right into the next set. Here we go. Ready? Find your difficulty setting and lift off. 1, lift off. 2, lift off. 3, lift off. 4, lift off. 5, lift off. 6, lift off. 7, lift off. 8, lift off. 9, lift off. 10, lift off. 11, make sure the toe and the heel come off at the same time. Lift off. 12, lift off. 13, lift off. 14, get as high as you can. Lift off. 15, hold. Fight for another inch. Oh, fight for another millimeter. A little bit higher. Slowly let it down. Switch sides. Should have felt all that stuff turning on. Okay, let's do it. Set up. Find your difficulty setting. Here we go. And lift off. 1, lift off. 2, lift off. 3, lift off. 4, lift off. 5, lift off. 6, lift off. 7, lift off. 8, lift off. 9, lift off. 10, lift off. 11, lift off. 12, lift off. 13, lift off. 14, lift off. Hold it. Fight for another millimeter. Oh, fight for another one. And 15, slowly let it down. Shake your legs loose. Oh man. Okay guys, we're gonna do into some hip abductor work. So we're gonna work our groin. We're gonna get into a bear sit. I love the bear sit. You just gotta make sure when you get in position that you're feeling, you need to be under stretch. Okay, some people can sit like in a bear sit, they're like this, where nothing's really happening. I like to grab onto like where my ankles are. I'm gonna pull my knees, spread my feet out, pull my knees, try to back behind me, tighten up my stomach, get my back nice and flat, and I just keep trying to rotate my toes out. Okay, and if you spread my feet out a little more, I put my groin under a kind of a greater stretch. Okay, I'm gonna turn this way just a little bit. There we go. All right, so from this position, we're gonna hold 2 minutes, just kind of stretching out our groin right now. I got us on a timer, and we're gonna do a pales and rails contraction from this position. If you're wondering what pales means, progressive angular isometric loading, and rails is gonna be regressive angular isometric loading. So we're gonna load all the progressive tissue first. That's gonna be the inside stuff. That's the stuff we wanna stretch, okay? And then when we do the regressive, we're gonna drive our knees to the floor to turn on all the outside stuff. Okay, so our legs right now are gonna be like a book. And if I wanna close the book, my legs are gonna go like this. but except my arms are going to stop that from happening. That's going to create the isometric, right? So I'm driving my elbows into my legs so that my legs cannot close. We're going to build you up from 0 to 100 just like we did for the hip internal rotation. We're going to hold it for 1 set. We're going to do 20 seconds, so it's not a little bit of a longer set. When I get to 20, you're going to reverse it. You're going to try to drive your knee. You're going to let go of your legs and then towards the floor to try to open up more. Is that cool? Sound good? Definitely learn to love the bear sit. I know, I love the bear sit. Okay? Hey, maybe we'll do 2 sets. We'll do a long set and a short set. Okay? We're almost at our 2 minutes, guys. Make sure if you're able to kind of push your knees down to the floor more, do that. Okay, we want to get into our end range for the hip abduction here. We want to really put our groin on stretch. Okay, so as this time's been going on, I'm gradually pushing. I don't know if you can tell from the angle, but my knees are getting closer and closer to the floor, and the stretch is getting a little more intense. But still, I'm able to relax. I'm talking, right, and chilling. Okay. 20 more seconds, then we'll start. Oh. Okay, here we go. So 20%. Okay, I'm gonna have you guys try to close your legs, but your arms are gonna stop that from happening. You're gonna feel all the stuff inside turn on. So at 20%, try to close your legs. Well, bam. Should be easy and relaxed. Okay, if 20 feels good, go to 40. If 40 feels good, bring it up to 60. Ooh, it just got a little bit hard, right? All the inside groin stuff's firing right now. Now, 60 feels good, go to 80. 80 is a little more intense. I'm starting to shake a little bit. If 80% feels good, go to 100 and hold. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Over your hands and drive your knees to the floor. 10, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Come on, pretend like I'm trying to close your legs and you're opening them up. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Open up your legs more. Open up your legs more. 4. Try to get your knees to the floor. 3, 2. Put your hands back on your legs and breathe. Don't break position, guys. And relax. We just open up our legs so much more. Let's spend some time in this new end range of motion. Okay. Woo. Good. We're only going to do... We'll do one more set. We'll do a short, quick set, make it really, really intense. We'll go 10 seconds only. Then we'll do some eccentrics, some lift-offs, then we're done. Okay, so the pails and the rails, that's what creates more space. That's what increases our range of motion in our joints. And then the strength stuff we do after, like those lift-offs, that strengthens our new end range of motion. It kind of like teaches our brain to just like to be strong in the ranges of motion that we're developing with the pails and rails. So I think of like pails and rails is still strengthening at the end range of motion, and it's also creating more range. And then the passive range holds and lift-offs, that's strengthening and closing the gap between our active and passive strength. So, you know, the active is how far I can pick my foot up on my own, and then the passive is how far I can pick my foot up with assistance, right? All right, cool? So let's do our second set. All right, and if I'm ever talking, it's just because I'm passing time so we can recover. Next set, here we go. Get your end range motion for that bear sit. 20%, try to close those legs. 40%, go up to 60, go up to 80, and 100% hard as you freaking can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your legs and drive those knees to the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab onto your legs, then relax into that stretch. Take 3 breaths. Here we go. Okay, slowly get out of that position. For this next one, this is called groin-ageddon. Okay, we're gonna do some eccentrics for the hip adductor. We'll do our right side first. Okay, so I just use this stick as something to just kind of support myself on. You can use like your couch or table or an ottoman or the wall. Doesn't really matter. We are going to set up in a kneeling, half kneeling position. So this foot's going to be kneeling. This foot's going to be turned out. Okay, so my hips are facing you guys. This knee's turned out. The knee that's down is going to be the working knee. So I'm going to load this hip abductor. So I'm going to think about the knee driving into the ground and pushing this way. So if I think about if you're doing this, I want to load the adductor first. So I'm going to push the knee into the floor and then across. Okay, so if you try to take your hand and pull my leg that way, you wouldn't be able to. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm driving this way. So once I feel my adductor turn on, I'm going to slowly do a body position change. So I'm going to start driving and shifting my body weight to the left, but this leg is actively pushing into the floor. So right here, if you tried to grab onto my knee and pull it out, you wouldn't be able to because I'm pushing down with so much force. But the body position change is going to win. I'm going to drop down to my end range of motion, feeling that adductor stretch and lengthen during that eccentric. I'm going to relax at the bottom, use my hands to push myself back up. Is that cool? Any questions on that? No? No? I don't see anything. Sweet, you guys all got that. Badass. You guys are a good group. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to do 5 really good hard reps. You know, and then with eccentrics, it's cool because you make this hard. Like my coach always used to tell me, he always used to say, made me laugh, like, you're choosing your own adventure here. You can make this really hard, make it really easy. Just so you guys can see what the back leg's doing. As I'm driving out, create that isometric, I'm going to start falling out. I even turn that foot out as I go. So I end up dropping down. I'm feeling that hip adductor the whole time. I'm going to relax, drive myself back up with my hands. Cool? All right, here we go. So, rep number 1. Load that hip adductor. So I'm driving into the floor and across my body. Now, body position change. Let's go. 6, 5, 4. Keep driving that knee into the ground. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Push yourself back up with your hands. Load it up again. Here we go. Drive the knee into the floor and start dropping down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Push yourself back up and make it even harder now. And load it and go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Push yourself back up. That's 3, right? Here we go. Number 4. Drive that knee across the body and start falling over. Here we go. Body position change to the left. 3, 2, find your end range and relax. Come back up. Last rep, guys. Here we go. Load that adductor so the inside groin is going to turn on. And I'm going to start body position change to the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then relax. Push yourself back up with your hands. And we're going to switch sides. Okay. Woo. All right. So remember, driving that knee into the floor and then across to load the inside groin. Here we go. All right, so we load it up. And nice and slow, start body position change onto that right side. Slowly coming down for 6, 5. I'm actively pushing this knee into the floor. 3, 2. Oh, this side's way tighter. Shannon, my left side, relax. Drive yourself back up with your hands. Load that adductor. That's the inside groin muscle. And then start falling out to the side. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 2. Push yourself back up. Woo. Load it. Start falling down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Drive yourself back up with your hand. That's 3. Number 4, load it. Start falling over. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, relax. Drive yourself back up. That's 4. Last rep, best rep. drive it into the floor, load it, and then start falling out to the side. 6, 5, 4, make it harder, push this leg down more. 3, 2, 1, relax. Drive yourself back up. We're gonna switch sides. Holy crap. Yeah, so much harder. All right, so we're gonna do one more set in each leg. We're only gonna do 3 reps this time, but I want you to make the reps so intense that if I asked you to do a 4th, you couldn't. So I want your best effort on this set, okay? Make this really super intense. We're doing our right leg first. Set yourself up. Load that inside groin by driving that knee across your body, okay? And nice and slow, let's do this. Make it hard. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. See how low you can get. 2, and 1. Relax. Drive yourself back up with your hands. Rep number 2 of 3. Load it and start falling down. 6, 5. Harder. Push this leg down harder. 3. Harder. 2, 1. Relax. Push yourself back up. Last rep, best rep. Let's do it. Drive that knee down and across. Nice and slow. Start falling down. 6, 5, 4. Resist the fall. 3. Push this leg down. 2, and 1. Relax. Oh, switch sides. Okay. Last set in this side. Drive that knee across into the floor. Load the hip adductor. We're going to lower down for 7 on the first set. And go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Woo. Rep number 2 of 3. Drive that knee across and down and start falling over. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Last rep, best rep. Here we go. Drive that knee across and down. Nice and slow. Start falling over. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. That's it. Whew. So that's like long range adductor work where the muscles actually lengthening. We're going to finish out with our last exercise, the shortening of that hip adductor. Okay? So we're going to work on the concentric part of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into this, we call it like our sexy position, right? We're going to do right leg out in front, elbow on the ground, and hang out like this. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the bottom leg. So the ankle and the toe, pinky toe are going to come up at the same time. I'm going to brace my body. I don't want to turn as I pick my leg up. I just want to drive my leg up off the floor by contracting this adductor here and back down. So I'm going to lift off and back down. You can see how high my foot's going. This is pretty easy. If you're in the position I'm in and your foot's coming this high off the floor, just lay down all the way and watch how high my foot goes now, right? So it becomes easier. I'm not near my end range. If you want to make it harder, you just sit up straight on the hand, and the higher up I sit, if I try to pick this foot up off the ground now, it's only a couple inches. I want the knee to come up and the leg to stay straight. I want the heel and the pinky toe coming up at the same time. So it looks like this. And up, 1. Just so you guys can see. Okay, so let's start our set. We'll do 2 quick sets. We'll do 15 reps on each side. You guys ready? Any questions? Anyone having issues? Nope. No comments. Beautiful. You guys are quiet today. Here we go. Brace and tighten up with the upper body and lift off. 1. Wow. Lift off. 2. Lift off. 3. Lift off. 4. Lift off. 5. Lift off. 6. Lift off. 7. Lift off. 8. Lift off. 9. Lift off. 10. Lift off. 11. Lift off. 12. Lift off. 13. Lift off. 14. Lift off. 15. Switch sides. And we're bracing with the upper body so it's not swinging or rocking as I'm picking my leg up. And we've switched. Let's do it. And lift off. 1. Wow. Lift off. 2. Don't turn your foot. Lift off. 3. Lift off. 4. Pinky and heel come up at the same time. Lift off. 5. Lift off. 6. Lift off. 7. Lift off. 8. Lift off. 9. Lift off. 10. Lift off. 11. Lift off. 12. Lift off. 13. Lift off. 14. Lift off. 15. Switch sides. It's our last set, guys, and we're donezo. Here we go. Get set. And lift off. 1. Wow. Lift off. 2. Lift off. 3. Lift off. 4. Lift off. 5. Lift off. 6. Lift off. 7. Lift off. 8. Lift off. 9. Lift off. 10. Lift off. 11. Lift off. 12. Lift off. 13. Lift off. 14. Last rep. Lift off. 15. Hold. Fight for a little more. Oh. Fight for a little more. Oh. Slowly let it down. 15. Phew. Switch sides. Last set, guys, and we're done. Sweet. Here we go. Ready? And lift off. 1. Lift off. 2. Lift off. 3. Lift off. 4. Lift off. 5. Lift off. 6. Lift off. 7. Lift off. 8. Lift off. 9. Lift off. 10. Lift off. 11. Lift off. 12. Lift off. 13. Lift off. 14. Lift off and hold. Fight for another millimeter. Ugh. Fight for a little more. Hold it. Slowly let it down. 15. Boom. Good job, guys. Now again, just to reiterate, if I'm ever doing an exercise and you're experiencing pain or there's no way I can get in that position, just stand up and do hip cars or do shoulder cars. And literally do your car work until I move on to the next exercise or movement, and then jump back in with class. I can't stress the fact that you cannot do too many cars in your life. I legitimately do them every day, and I would never make you do anything that I wouldn't do myself, nor that I do that. Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But do your cars. If you have any kind of joint pain, it will help. You know. It will help. I mean, I don't know, whatever. I'm going to stop talking. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. I hope you had fun. I had fun. We got a lot of mobility in. Till Saturday. See you guys then. Bye.